Yeah, we're
Oh,
doing
here it is.
something no one has ever done before. We are
Yeah, something that.
talking about Resident Evil on the internet.
Why on earth are you here?
Welcome to the Game Zone. We are your hosts. I'm Neon.
And I'm Ren. And Resident Evil is back in GOG form.
With the PC version, we get the uncensored intro. I personally like the censored one more, though.
Yeah, the black and white, it's funny seeing that called like the censored version because as a kid, I saw that as them being like, oh, it's trying to be like Night of the Living Dead.
Well, in the uncensored version, I just don't really like how it spends a lot of time on some shots, like especially with like the fake dogs. What we saw there with the hand, that's one of the shots I don't like because it just kind of holds it too long. Like the thing with the censored version is I think the editing is a lot sharper in that one. It just kind of flows better. We spend a lot of time with like the CG blood and the dogs here.
We spent $500 on these two fake dogs, and by God, we are going to feature them. Now, are we watching this through the stock version of the game that you download off GOG, or is this with the RE Classic kind of smoothing some of the rough edges?
This is the classic Rebirth mod and high quality FMVs, so it runs at more than like 15 frames a second.
The release on GOG is true to the original experience, but the original experience was 20 frames a second
I don't know, the PC, no, I mean, not on the PlayStation version, it was just the PC
for
version.
the PC version, that is,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got the I got the DG Voodoo wrapper and some reshade going on here. Create a softer picture, kind of blends. It hides the artifacts of the background, which I appreciate, and it makes the characters just kind of look like they belong there a bit more. Unfortunately, DG Voodoo kept making this game crash for us.
Yeah, which isn't so bad if you're playing easy Jill mode, where it's like, well, you don't need ink ribbons to save. You just save, and there you go. But if you're playing it like normal or like Chris, then it's fucking nerve-wracking knowing the thing could just bork at any second.
Yeah, I took it off when I was playing as Chris, which unfortunately I couldn't get any footage of. All the footage came out as a black screen, so we'll only be seeing Jill for this video.
Chris exists in our imagination. He's in every sunrise. He's in every child's smile. I guess, if this was like Capcom re-releasing the games, like, when they do like their fighting game collections, they would have like scanline options and stuff like that. But this is just you're getting it as it was back in 1996, warts and all.
Yeah, this is the same version they released back then. This isn't a new port. It is an old port with like a new wrapper to it, so it could just run on a platform on a new operating system without any hassle. That's it. That's all it is.
On one hand, I wish there was like a version where like, oh, let's do some extras, let's add some screen options. But on the other hand, I guess by this being on PC, people can do mods or just do whatever the hell they want.
I mean, yeah, that's leaving it up to the community to solve a problem, but which shouldn't be the case.
Right.
But I mean, this version is completely fine to play. Yeah, GOG doesn't really do like proper ports. They just kind of like take old ports and make them work, which is fine with me. A lot of times that's all I really want.
But yeah, do you think Capcom is embarrassed of Resident Evil 1?
No, I just think they have more profitable games than Resident Evil 1 at this point.
Coming into this, I was a little bit wondering, like, would I still enjoy the game? And actually, I was like, oh yes, this is actually still fun.
Yeah, I actually think it's pretty easy to just pick up and play through in an afternoon if you want. It's really not that bad, actually.
But yeah, I wonder who are the people picking up this new GOG release, because this might be an opportunity for younger fans to be familiar with where it all began, or do you think it's all the old heads like you and me picking this up?
I think it's a lot of people who already play Resident Evil picking it up because that's the kind of audience that exists on GOG. Some people say GOG, but I'm a sensible man. I say GOG. Because I started with remake. I only went back to the original afterwards, and I never beat it back then. I played two and three, which were cool, but this one I never saw through all the way. So I was very surprised to find out there isn't a giant shark in this game. It's just a normal ass shark. See, it's giant snake, giant plant, giant man, but no giant shark.
It also helps that I was starting off on the Jill PC mode, which is extra easy mode, because with
Yeah.
her, she doesn't need ink ribbons to save. And are the enemies weaker too?
I think they are. They felt really weak to me. I was very surprised. I really wish they had made the easy mode an option. It's pretty dumb you have to beat the game as Jill to get her normal game mode. Well, one thing that's nice about the PC version though is the auto aim, which they took out of the US version for some reason.
They're just like, fuck those kids. You gotta aim with no reticle or anything to actually assist with this. Yeah, but it's still remarkable considering this was Capcom's first 3D game. And I know, yeah, it seems like a little no duh to be like, oh yeah, this was great and well received and people loved it. But at the same time, think about it, like, wow, their first crack at a 3D game, and it kind of changed things,
Is
like,
this
for
the
good.
first 3D game? I don't think those backgrounds are 3D, man.
I've seen some people say, like, Resident Evil 1 is basically just a point and click with some shooting.
I mean, it follows the style of an adventure game. That's not
Yeah,
wrong. That's like where the survival horror has its roots, is a mix of like action and the adventure genre. Closing thoughts. What do you think of Resident Evil, the
um,
original, after all these years?
but going back to it, it's still fun. It seems quaint now. I kind of wonder how someone who never played Resident Evil would feel about this.
I thought it was really fun going back to this. I've actually found learning how to use the knife really enjoyable, and when you know the game, it's like a nice just use of an afternoon, basically. It's pretty fun to just run through.
Are you gonna attempt an all knife run?
No, hell no. That is not me. Yeah, I don't think the first game is a hard one to recommend. I think people have a natural aversion to tank controls, but other than that, it's fine.
Is it clunky? Yes, absolutely. But you get used to it. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, I this was the first episode of the Game Zone.
The first welcome to the game
Yeah,
zone.
welcome to the Game Zone. Also, bye. Oh, there he is, Barry Burton.
There's our big beautiful Barry. What a guy.